Botterman, Senior Vice President of Communications and Language Services at ICANN. And today, I'm joined by ICANN CEO and President Göran Marby and ICANN Board Chair Maarten Botterman. Today, we're going to talk about what to expect during the upcoming ICANN70 Virtual Community Forum. So thank you both for joining me today. Maarten, let's start with a question for you. What do you most look forward to during the public meeting week?
Well, progress on the many issues that we are to tackle this year. And the community has come up with an agenda for this meeting, and it would be excellent and a much needed opportunity not only to progress the agenda within each of the constituencies, but also cross-community to get together on where we need to go. In the end, our ability to fulfill our mission depends very much on our ability to do so together. Not only respecting, but also championing the multi-stakeholder model that is the fundament for our governance.
Thank you, Maarten. And there are many sessions coming up over the coming days. So that leads to the next question. Göran, from an ICANN org perspective, what are the biggest challenges in delivering a virtual public meeting?
Thank you, Sally. It's an excellent question. It's a year now since we started doing virtual meetings, and I think we learned a lot. And I would like to thank also the community and the board, because together we've developed a lot of new tools, doing things differently. It is a little bit, it's awkward and strange for us as well as the community to set up a sort of Zoom environment with all the things that we would like to do there. I would like to turn the question around, because it's not only challenges. I think we learned a lot about how we can communicate. We also got to take with us when we go back to face-to-face meetings. But if there is anything, testing the new tools, especially when it comes to translations, etc., that's, I think, is going to be. I'm excited about that. I actually think that's a major improvement. But as you know, in ICANN org, we're always trying to figure out new ways of providing information to the community. And in this, I also want to highlight that we launched the Information Transparency Initiative this week, where you now can have new search functions for over close to 40,000 documents. And there's a blog by me, you can read about it. That is, I'm looking forward to hear more opinions about that as well. For ICANN org, it's about delivering an experience for the community to make sure that they can have their interactions, and I hope that's going to work out. Thank you.
Thank you, Göran. There's certainly going to be a lot of opportunities for the community to talk in the coming days. So Maarten, that leads me to a question for you. The ICANN meetings always offer an opportunity for the community to talk about a range of issues. But are there topics that you think will be the most top of mind for the community this week and for them to want to discuss?
Yeah, there's a lot of topics that are to be dealt with. And I think most importantly on top of mind may be, how can we do things together? Hot topics such as how to deal with GDPR, sub-pro, DNS abuse, and the review team recommendations can lead to different viewpoints from different parts of the community. And it's meetings like this that should help us bring closer together in tackling these differences and agreeing on good ways forward. So good work to make this better possible has been done, like with the PDP 3.0, the consensus playbook, and also the ATRT3 recommendations towards continuous improvement. Yet it requires us all to make it work and further improve this way of working together to support us. And the pandemic situation makes it necessary to address these issues in the best possible virtual setting, as Göran just explained. Which leads probably to another matter on the community's mind. When will we meet face-to-face again? Well, with you, we look forward to that whenever that's possible. The board is here to listen and support.
Thank you, Maarten. There certainly are so many topics, as you mentioned, but one of the most critical conversations that's going to be happening isn't project specific. It's about several different sets of recommendations by the community. And so, Göran, the question for you is, with all of the recommendations that are coming through from reviews and the working groups, how can the board, the org, and the community work together to prioritize the work ahead?
if you look on the development of an internet and ICANN as an institution, things has, if you might say, it's become more complex over time. It became something that we need to be more carefully planning to be able to implement. If you look at 2021, it's going to be a year that we actually do a lot of planning together. And it's going to take resources. It's going to take resources from the org, it's going to take resources from the board, it's going to take resources from the community. So to figure out ways how we can plan those things together so we make sure we don't miss anything that comes out of a multi-stakeholder model is becoming more and more important. It's not, we often talk about this from a money terms, but that's not really what it is all about. It's time. You know, the only thing that's really finishing things in life is time. And we need to be able to find those vehicles, and that's what we're doing right now. What we've seen is that in the org, we set up a planning department, the board has set up a planning committee, and we're also doing positive and discussions with the SOC leaders right now, how to make sure that we plan. Planning has always been one of the biggest obstacles in ICANN, and I think we're on our way to solve that, because in the end, it's also about transparency and accountability and predictability. So the community and other ones actually knows what's happening. It doesn't become something that is a part of it, feels like it's behind closed doors. You can also see the operational design phase as a part of that, because by making a process that used to be non-transparent, transparent for the community and the stakeholders, means that we can again show a little bit more about how the board is preparing the decision-making process. And that becomes a part of the planning vehicle as well. So I think it's something that we have to continue to talk about. We have to make processes work. But I think that we now started to be in a place where we can see how we can do that.
Göran, thank you. There will be many opportunities for the people who participate in ICANN 70 to be a part of that conversation, and it certainly will come up in various discussions. So Maarten, that leads me to the question of what tips do you have to help attendees make the most of their experience?
Well, first, ICANN 70 is an important meeting, but it's a point in time. So please make sure that you tap into those processes that are of your interest and follow those. And from that, make your choices in the rich menu of meetings that is coming, and make sure you either attend those that are of your interest, or alternatively, make use of the transcripts or the recordings that are available in those sessions as well. So that will help you to stay close to the ball. The other thing is also seek the opportunity to speak with your peers where possible. Different options are given, and interaction is what helps us understand things better. So please make that best use of that opportunity as well.
Good advice. Thank you, Maarten. And Göran, from the ICANN org perspective, are there any thoughts you'd like to share that you haven't yet?
I think that, make the best of it. Everybody knows that, or I believe that part of the ICANN DNA is the face-to-face meetings, and I'm really looking forward to the time and the place where we can come back all together and do the ICANN work the way it should be doing by meeting each other, because it's needed. We're providing you tools and providing the community and tools to do as much as we can in the digital world, but it will never be as good as it is in the real world. But we sort of have to figure out ways of living with that, and so make the best out of it, I would say. From a personal standpoint, I would also say it's important. The multi-stakeholder model is about the consensus, and we might have different definitions of consensus, but consensus doesn't mean there is one individual winner in a conversation. It's about all us winning because we actually do come together. And maybe it's harder during the sort of digital world to find this place where you can come together. ICANN has shown to be enormously productive over its existence, and the community has done fantastic works together. And I hope this will continue also during ICANN 70. So if I would dream anything, is that the community continues to come together and reach this consensus. That doesn't mean that everybody gets what they want, but it means that maybe the most important thing and the reason for ICANN's existence, the internet users of the world actually gets what they need.
Thank you, Göran. I think that's a perfect way to end this interview. So thank you both for joining me as we kick off ICANN 70. And for those of you who are participating, be sure to check out the website. Thank you all, and we look forward to seeing you at ICANN 70.